Richard Dyer believes that stars are constructed or artificial images, even if they're represented as being real people. An example of this is the rapper Eminem, who has multiple different personalities, which all cut into different parts of his raps. One of these is Slim Shady, which is considered the bad part of Eminem, who doesn't really care about anyone else. He's quite a twisted person. A lot of the things he says and comes up with are quite dark and possibly even evil. But he's normally the rapper who takes like dark turns, but usually in quite a funny, comical way. Another side of Eminem is Ken Knief. Although this isn't really used anymore, this was one of the early alter egos of Eminem the rapper. He's a homosexual man, and usually, similarly to Slim Shady, is quite a nasty rapper. Another one is his own personality, Marshall Mathers, which is Eminem's real name, and it represents him as a person. When rapping as Marshall, he usually talks about personal things in his life, such as his family or the struggles he went through growing up. The other rapper is Eminem, which is the one he mostly uses, which would be a mix of Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers. So more about his real life and his true personality, but some dark thoughts and things which also come into this. The reason why this is a construct is it shows off different parts of Eminem to a wide range of audience, making him a unique selling point as a rapper with different alter egos. So it might be enjoyed by people who want a deep listening meaning, or people who want to listen to dark, humorous jokes which he may come up with. Richard Dyer also says that stars are manufactured by the industry to serve a purpose, which is only to make money of audiences who respond to different elements of the star persona by buying the records and becoming fans. An example of this is the artist Taylor Swift, who is meant to be seen as almost like the girl next door, who different girls would want to be like as they grow up, and the sort of girl that boys would want to bring home to their parents, quite nice and lovely. By doing this, she sings songs that are quite relatable to a young teen audience, who in turn will buy more records and become bigger fans, as well as producing lots of different things like posters, books, calendars, just to make more and more money off a young teen audience, which in making this a primary audience also creates a secondary audience of the adults who will hear their children listening to them, and then will enjoy listening to her in turn, and then will fund their children through buying the different products of this artist. Richard Dyer also states that stars represent different cultural values and attitudes to promote certain ideologies, and then an audience who are interested in these values enhance the star quality of that artist through their beliefs and opinions outside the music industry to help create their persona. An artist who is a key example of this is Sir Paul McCartney, who is known for being quite a keen vegetarian and animal rights activist. He regularly does campaigns for PETA, and also is quoted as saying, "Many years ago I was fishing, and as I was reeling in the poor fish I realised I'm killing him, all for the passing pleasure it brings me, and something inside me clicked, as I realised as I watched him fight for breath that his life was important to me as his is to mine." By showing this attitude towards animals and the caring nature of himself, it makes people more interested in this artist, as people who may not have listened to him before might try and experience his music if they don't believe in eating meat or are also keen animal rights activists. And then by doing this, it enhances his popularity not just through the music industry, but also through animal rights activism. Richard Dyer also says that a star begins as a real human, possessing gender and different characteristics, existing against different backgrounds. The star transformation processes turns them into a construct, but this construct still has foundations in reality. We tend to relate to this kind of celebrity more, as we see a lot of them in us and vice versa. A prime example of this kind of celebrity is someone like Ed Sheeran, who, although he is a singer and earns massive amounts of money, still takes time to do quite different things. For example, recently he went to a party to play beer pong with different guests on a college campus, showing that he's just sort of like every other young person who wants to have fun and have a good time as well. He also shows a nicer side by recently paying off a friend's mortgage by helping her out, and it shows us this nice person construct who we all see it in ourselves that we would like to help people like that if we could. And then by doing this, we see more realism in stars, which therefore makes them more relatable and a higher selling point.